Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we talk about all things movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my reviews when they post. Alright, with that we're going to get into this review, which is for Gone in the Night. Now this movie is about when Kath and her boyfriend arrive at a remote cabin in the Redwoods. They find a mysterious younger couple already there. Her boyfriend disappears with the young woman, and Kath becomes obsessed with finding an explanation. So this film, I was kind of curious to see. I was kind of on the fence, and I had checked out the Rotten Tomatoes score and knew that it was around like the upper 40%. Mainly just because time was a little tight this week, so I was like, oh, is it worth checking out? And I was like, oh, 50%. That's that. I mean, that'll be hit or miss. And so went in and I was excited to see Winona Ryder. I like her a lot in Stranger Things, and it seemed like she was playing kind of a similar character here, which definitely has some Joyce Byers vibes and channeling a bit of that. But I think the Winona Ryder is probably the best thing in this movie. I think she's brings the part to life as much as she can. I think the writing overall was not the strongest for this film, but both she and the rest of the cast, I thought all acted their parts pretty well. So, I think kind of getting into we're gonna keep the spoiler free, but I'll talk kind of generally about some things. So the way the story is told, it kind of jumps back and forth between 2 points in the story. And for me, it didn't really work. Sometimes you can do that, like in The Prestige, and it's great. But in this one, it felt just kind of cheap, where they, for the most part, it was just like revealing a part of the story, but not like as the character was finding out. Like there was one point where it did kind of tie directly into the present storyline, but when they jump to the past, it's just like it feels cheap because it feels like they're just withholding information and then they're choosing to give it to you, but it's not through a character. So I think that didn't really work to do it that way, in my opinion. I also thought that the ending is just very, very sudden. It feels like the movie just kind of takes its time and then it wraps up in like 5 minutes. It was a very sudden ending. It felt like they should have been starting what like would have been a third act almost. But I thought that was a little strange. And then for it being a mystery, I didn't realize it was necessarily a mystery thriller. I actually thought it was gonna be a horror movie, but it's definitely a mystery thriller sort of thing. And I gotta say the mystery was one that I could see coming for the most part. Like I had some details wrong, but for the most part, I had it worked out before, like well before they actually reveal it. So there again, it just makes it a little less rewarding. But it wasn't really because they were dropping clues though. I mean maybe to some extent, but I didn't really feel clever for figuring it out. It was like kind of my just initial hunch, and it never really changed or evolved over the course of the film. So that was for it being a mystery, I don't really think it was all that good of a mystery. But other things about the movie, I thought the cinematography was just all right. For it taking place primarily in the woods, I feel like it could have been maybe a little bit. It could have come across a bit nicer, but it was fairly grainy, which was fine. I mean, it's its own choice, but it didn't strike me in any particular way. And then I thought the characters were all interesting in their own way. It was kind of bugging me where I recognized the boyfriend from, and then I realized he's in Westworld season 3. So that was interesting to see him. I don't think I've seen him in any other things, but he was good. It definitely had me like the way the character is written and it comes up in the story is like it doesn't really seem that he and the Winona Ryder character would actually be a couple. Like I didn't really buy into that, but they kind of address it in the film, or like they point that out in the film, and they kind of give an answer towards the end, but it still didn't really like I wasn't buying into it. They didn't really have me sold, and that's kind of the core part of the movie in my opinion. So I don't know. There's things like that. I mean, at the end of the day, to wrap things up, this was an okay movie. I give it a C overall. It's not one that I'd really recommend. It's not bad by any means, but it wasn't terribly interesting. There's, a couple redeeming factors in that they got some good actors in there, but overall, yeah, not one that I would recommend necessarily worth checking out. But if you had a chance to see it though, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you like this film, or were you kind of more in the camp that I fell in where it was just kind of meh? And with that, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming reviews. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.